Hey, how's it going guys? It's Nate here. And Skyrim isn't just a massive region, but it can also be quite a sad one. Dragons, civil wars, and sub-freezing temperatures don't exactly do much to ensure a high quality of life. But we don't always have the time or patience necessary to find every single sob story in this depressing world. So with that in mind, today we'll be taking a look at 5 sad or otherwise disturbing stories and tales that you may have missed in The Elder Scrolls V. Starting off, Bloated Man's Grotto is a large cave oasis located west of Whiterun, and it also serves as the primary setting of Hircine's Daedric quest, Ill Met by Moonlight. Inhabiting it will be a variety of carnivorous animals when you first arrive. However, it also seems to be holding quite a secret of its own. You see, for quite some time long ago, a human being, had been living here. There's a wooden bucket next to a water pond, various hidden chests, and other signs of life scattered throughout the area. Well, should you head up the staircase located at the southern end of the cave, you'll learn just who used to be here. You'll find a large shrine of Talos, with both a unique blade sword and a letter at its foot. The letter reads, quote, "To he who finds this, know that I, Achilles Boar, last of the blades to survive the attack on Cloud Ruler Temple, took refuge here, in this ancient sanctuary. The Thalmor have come for me, but they shall not desecrate this place. I go forth to meet my death with honor. If you are worthy, take up my blade, and do the same." This wasn't just any random hermit living in our oasis, but an ancient blade, possibly the last of his order, who was being hunted by the Thalmor after they evidently sacked Cloud Ruler Temple in the Great War, which was a pretty considerable location in the Elder Scrolls IV. It seems as though this noble warrior decided to accept his fate and leave the cave to fight the Thalmor, in hopes that when he died, they wouldn't bother to search the area, and therefore discover the hidden sanctuary and destroy the shrine. Clearly our hero succeeded, as the shrine remains unscathed by anything but the elements, and all he's left behind is a pretty powerful sword and a will for you to follow in his footsteps. Next, pardon my pronunciations, Idis runs the Old Hroldan Inn in the Reach. She has a son named Skuli, and her husband, Farir, is out fighting in Skyrim's civil war. She often mentions the man, saying the following reassuring lines of dialogue.
Schoolie's father's off fighting for the Empire. I'm sure he's just fine.
Mama, where did Papa go?
He's off fighting the war, dear. For the Stormcloaks.
Last time you said he was fighting for the Empire.
Yep, I'm sure he's doing well there.
Well, she seems to have forgotten the more minute details, like which side he's fighting for. At least she trusts her husband is out there fighting the good fight and doing well. Alas, the truth behind this matter is far more disturbing. If you decide to head over to Chilwyn Depths, a large cave located near Dragon's Bridge that's been controlled by the Falmer, you'll eventually stumble upon a series of pens meant to cage human prisoners. All of the former inhabitants who used to occupy these cells are dead. However, one of these corpses belongs to a Nord named Freer, Idis's husband. On his body, he has a note, which reads as follows, quote, "They fell upon us at dusk. Dozens of them. The caravan guards were dead in moments. They took everyone else back to the pens, blinded those who tried to resist. One by one, they took the others away, feeding us to those monstrosities or worse. I don't have much time left. Idis, my love, if you ever get this, forgive me." Idis's husband is, in fact, dead, and has been for some time, captured and killed by the Falmer. You can return back to her with the note, but there's no dialogue that allows you to reveal to this mother and her son the truth behind the man's death. This is one of those sad stories with no quest behind it, or anything else. It's just a depressing detail for the most attentive of players to catch. Third on our list, while still in the Reach, just northwest of the Shrine of Periite, you can find a rather disturbing scene. An unclothed woman with the name Captive simply lays dead on a rock, with a forsworn arrow in her back. Due to the game's physics, if you're like me, this arrow may or may not spawn. Now, it doesn't take a Sherlock Holmes to discover the tragic irony behind what's unfolded here. Nearby the captive's corpse, you'll find her clothes, and items she decided to take off before going for a swim. Among them is her journal, which has a single entry. "Father wouldn't like it if he caught me swimming out here again. But I just can't help myself. Forsworn sightings be damned, I love the way the cool water feels on my skin. Besides, with the war raging, those savages wouldn't dare leave the safety of their tents, so I think I'll head down to my special spot one more time." From the way it looks, this young woman fatefully underestimated the Forsworn, and paid the ultimate price. Listen to your elders, kids. It might just save you from getting murdered to death. Now we head all the way over to Solstheim for our fourth spot. This one, to be honest, isn't particularly sad in the traditional sense, but it still can be a bit of a tearjerker. At Brodier Grove, you'll encounter a small band of Reavers. Dispatch them in any way you prefer, and look at the body of their leader, a Reaver Lord. On his corpse, he'll have a unique greatsword, named Stormfang, that has the ability to do 30 points of shock damage, as well as 15 points of magicka damage when used against enemies. Now, if you've ever played The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, this weapon may sound a bit familiar to you. That's because the Great Claymore was the weapon wielded by Ulfgar the Unending, a noble Nord warrior who requested that the player character fight him to the death so he could finally find Sovngarde, similar to what the Ebony Warrior requests with the Dragonborn in Skyrim. He seemed to have been a pretty good guy. It's a shame the weapon of someone as honorable as he made its way into the despicable hands of Reavers. Now, you can actually find Ulfgar in Sovngarde in Skyrim, but that's another story for a different day. For now, you have the somber chance to take up the blade of an old friend. And finally, last on our list, we have a tale of two lovers gone horribly wrong. Located southwest of Rorikstead in the Reach, there's a small camp with the corpses of a mauled couple, and the offending animal still nearby. Depending on your level, this could be anything from a low-level wolf to a bear on skooma. Once the creature's been dealt with, you can then take a look around the campsite. Judging by all the food, it appears the couple, a Dunmer man named Talvor and Breton female named Karen, had just finished cooking a meal. There's also a handful of tankards and wine, suggesting they were having a really good time. It's a shame it all had to be cut so short. Looking at the corpse of Karen, which, yes, that's how I'm pronouncing this, you'll find her journal that reveals just how close to finally achieving their dreams these two were. You see, Karen was the highborn daughter of a wealthy merchant in Markarth, and fell in love with Talvor, but he was a lowly miner, a commoner whom her family would never approve of. The two were crazy about each other, but if anyone ever found out, Talvor would have been imprisoned, or worse. So, the two hatched a plan to run away together. Talvor had saved up just enough of his wages to buy them passage to Riften, where they could likely marry in peace. When the time was right, Karen slipped away from her father and met Talvor at his camp. And the rest? Well, that's history. If you look behind a nearby tree stump, there will lie a small coin pouch, a soul gem, and a bag filled with some low-level gems and jewelry. No doubt what the couple had been saving up for so long. Such a beautiful tale with such a sad ending. But not for you, however, because you get to take all of their money, so at least somebody wins something out of this, right? Anyway, with that last bit of optimism, we are going to wrap up. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Which of these was your favorite, if you will? And what sad or rather tragic details have you come across in Skyrim that weren't blatantly pointed out by the game? Leave a comment down below. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Peace out, everyone.